about our life. Hello, my babies. It's the Dr. Mother Love. It's the even more fabulous Dr. Mother Love coming to you live and in living color. Just to make sure I'm not coming to you dead in black and white, because that can be really dull sometimes. And that beautiful young lady right there next to me, she is joining me. See, I get all the pretty people, all the smart people, they go everywhere doing great things, people. This is Carla Ojeda. She's an actress, and she is, and you love the theater, and you're going to be in this. You're representing, and I got to tell you, first of all, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you
The
for
piece
having me.
that the piece that you're doing at Casa 0101, we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about how you got all into this. So first, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so you gotta speak up a little bit because she done started trying to be brand new already, y'all. She came in with this
I'm trying
studio.
not to be too loud.
No, complete. This is where there's no such thing as being too loud with Mother Love. Are you kidding me? Girl, don't make me come through this phone and bite you on your forehead. Because this is where we get to be loud, wild, real, wild, and undisciplined. Because this is our show today. This is the Carla and the Mother Love show. We say what we want, we do what we want, like we want. Talk as loud as you want to, baby. I want to know, as she's a native California, a native Los Angeles. You know, we don't get a lot of the real people here. And you know, they always think, yeah, we always think that you guys are all unicorns. I don't care. From LA, there must be magic about you. Tell us about you growing up, and when did you get hit with the bug for the stage?
Oh wow. Well, I grew up. My parents were immigrants, and they moved here. My dad moved here when he was a teenager, and um, then my mom came later. But I grew up in East LA, Monterey Park area, and I went to, you know, all of the schools in our neighborhood. Back then, you actually went to the school that was in your neighborhood as opposed to now. um, and my dad was an electrician and my mom just worked in a factory. She was, a lighting factory, and no, there was no business in my family whatsoever. So,
No.
um, I
So,
mean,
what is your parents' native country?
my dad is from the Yucatan, so Merida in the Yucatan, and my mom is from Sinaloa, Mexico. So she's from. They're not very close. They met on a vacation in Ensenada, Mexico. So,
How
um,
see now see that See, that goes right there, goes to show you what the universe has for you, the universe
yeah,
has for you. And you never know where it's going to come from. You just have to be open and ready for it. So now your parents are, they hard working, shoulder to shoulder workers, doing what they do. And then when did you decide? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. I have a younger brother and a sister. Yeah.
Okay, so you're at the top where they say, all right, Carla, you have to set a good example. Don't go out there, your sister, your brother, they're looking up to you, and you're going, who are these people? Did you ever feel like, why do I have to do it? Well, that's the bloodline thing. You start 1, 2, 3, and,
Yeah.
and be grateful. The first one, everybody's fawning all over you. The second and third one, you're like, we already have one. We got this down. Don't worry about it. We start getting on to 4 and 5 and 10, 11, 12 kids. It's like, okay, do you know where these children are coming from? They're not just dropping out the sky. Shut up, mother. So, and am I right? Did they look up to you and say to you, Carla, these are your sisters and brothers?
Yeah. I mean, I had a
Mhm.
lot of responsibility at a very young age, because both my parents worked, which wasn't typical for the time.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I had, and that's one of the things that I actually really relate to with Gloria, because obviously she had a lot more siblings, but she had a lot of responsibility at a very young age as well. Um, but yeah,
Mhm.
acting, this was not a world I was introduced to with family.
Mhm.
This was I was very shy. At least I said I was. I'm an introvert. No one believes me, but I'm an introvert. And in the 9th grade, I was into music. I did a lot of sports. I did every activity there could possibly be. I was a drummer. I was in cheerleading. I was in drill team. But in the 9th grade, one of my teachers decided to start a drama class, and there had never been one. So I said, I'm going to join so I can learn to speak to people and not be shy. And I literally remember the moment where I fell in love with theater. And it was, I was doing well in the class. I didn't understand, it was very new and very weird to me, but they they did this play where it was like a Scrooge, but for teenagers. And we had a few boys in the class, and it was monologues. It was pages. Like, I remember it was 2-page monologue, and none of the boys could memorize it. So my teacher was like, "Do you want to play this part? We'll just put you in a suit, hide your hair under a hat." And I was like, "Okay." And I remember being on the stage, and I could memorize it, 'cause, and being on the stage, and the house was dark, and the spotlight was on me, and it's like time stopped, and I just said, "Oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life." This moment, I'm talking, everybody's listening. I could hear a penny, I could hear anything. It was just silence, and that was the moment for me, and I could like see it to this day. And then that's all I wanted to do. And there were no classes I could take available in the community or anything like that. So I just continued throughout high school, taking classes, and then I went to study in college. And my drama teacher from high school.
Where did you go to college?
I went to a conservatory. So I went to a 3-year, I was a 2-year and a 3rd-year invitation, a conservatory for acting. LACC Community College has a theater department within it. So it's a conservatory within the school. It's a very good school. I got an incredible education and training on acting, and all of the backstage stuff that goes on. So they really want you to.
Girl, wait a minute. Hold up. Stop. You gotta stop right there. See. Could you please just say that again? Because there are so many women and young women who will listen to you, who will see you, and you'll make it look like it's just it's easy, breezy piece of cake. I just take my beautiful self up on the stage and I just bring the story to light about the business. Because you have the talent, you could do with what you want to do. You said you learned about the background. Can you talk to us about the importance of being aware of your surroundings and being in tune with your surroundings and that relationship to
Absolutely.
show and business?
I think a good training program includes learning about the costumes, includes learning about makeup, includes learning about the props, because it's a team. There's the team that's on stage, but you want to know what the people that are hanging very heavy things above your head are doing, so that you can also protect yourself, and how the props work, so you can be safe. And it's important to know those things, so that you know how the whole machine works, right? And it's a team. Again, you're working together. Theater is one of the most collaborative art forms, and that is where the magic comes together. I love tech. Most people hate tech day. I love tech day because it's when everything just starts to come together and everyone is doing what they're an expert at doing, and it's beautiful.
And see, and that's why people looking on the outside at us on the inside, they'll say, "Oh my God, you make that look so easy." Isn't that the whole point of being able to do this? Is that we make it look so easy? They don't want to see the background. They don't care about the long nights. They don't care about not being able to get off book with your script, and you got to do it in 4 hours. They don't see all of that because you, my dear Carla, you go out there and you make it look so easy and you make it look so good. When did you know that you could on stage, you would be believable to an audience?
Oh gosh. I think once I was in high school and um, I was doing a play, and we didn't our theater was not usable, so we were doing it in the cafeteria. Um, oh, actually,
I
wait,
forgot
no,
about the part where we do stuff in the bathroom and in the
oh,
lunch.
anyway,
Okay, cut him out.
actually,
Okay, go with
my
the
first
story.
time was in the ninth grade, and the teacher had asked us to write a monologue and perform it, and
Mm.
I didn't do it. I didn't. I just didn't write it. I couldn't. I didn't do it. I didn't do the assignment, so I went up and I improvised my monologue, and I improvised a monologue about drug addiction. I didn't know anyone who was addicted to drugs. I just was telling a story that I made up, and everyone started crying in the classroom, boys and girls, teacher,
Oh,
everybody. And and she was like, "That was like some great writing." I was like, "Don't make me repeat it. I have no idea what I said."
but see,
And in that moment, I realized, like, oh, your words have power. And even though I was making this up, it was someone's story.
right.
I don't know where it came from. Um, and I just sat there in a chair and told a story that I made up. And it had a beginning, middle,
Now,
and
wait,
end,
okay, let me
everything.
ask you this. Wait, looking back at it in retrospect, and you're saying I got up there and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just sat there and made up a story. Now looking at that in retrospect, do you understand how deep your soul goes? Because you kept saying, "Well, it's something I made up." It was you being a storyteller. You didn't make that up. You had to see somebody, feel somebody, somebody else told you that, and it came time for you to pull that up, and it came up in the most opportune time. And see you, but I give you credit. I give you credit because you went, don't blame that on me because if this go crazy, I'm on me. And then there's that time, that moment when you're on stage, and people who don't do this, who's not called to do this, because each of us are called according to our purpose. And I mean, I couldn't imagine me and or you, and I'm just going along with just us having, listen, running into a burning building with 80 pounds worth of stuff on my back, telling my fire department call out. I'm across the street, around the corner saying, fire department, here they go. Here they. So I know, when it's that moment. And I think people who are called for their purpose, they get it. And you're not expecting to get it. Because when you just told me that was in the ninth grade, I didn't get it till my sister started hiring me out. Well, she wouldn't pay me, but hiring me out to host her parties. And they would all come to see me. I was like, so when am I going to get paid for this? Well, that never happened. So I understand. So when that came to you and you said that you were on stage and you said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So when you told your, because you said this didn't come to you from genetics, uh, when you told your parents and your siblings that this is what you wanted to do, what was that conversation like? Because family is important and friends are important.
My family has been so supportive. I was very always, I want to try this. I want to whatever I wanted to try. They were like, okay, okay. They never. Maybe they should have told me no here or there, but they were always very encouraging and allowing me to try new things. And I was also always trying things that maybe were not traditional. Like I was a drummer. There were no girl drummers in my school, and
Mhm,
I started in the fifth grade. The music teacher,
mhm.
she said, "What instrument do you want to play?" And I said, "I want to play the drums, percussion." And she's like, "Okay." And she taught me percussion, and then I took that on into middle school, and I played a little in high school, and
Mhm.
um, I had very supportive teachers. But I don't remember telling my mom. I'm sure she was like, "You've been dramatic your whole life. What's new?" Um, but
She always knew.
yeah. So then I remember sitting my dad down because it was time to start, thinking about my future or college. And I had never really pinpointed what I wanted to do. I want to be maybe a child psychologist or teacher. And when I realized this was it, I sat down and I remember telling my dad, and his only response was, "How are you going to make a living?" And I said, "I have no idea." but this is the only thing I can think of waking up and wanting to do right now. And so, cut to years later, I've made a living, and I said, "So, Dad, remember?" And he's like, "Yeah, I should have known better than to second guess you."
Even to question your motives.
Yeah. So, that was the only conversation I actually remember having, and I remember my sibling, my sister helping me run lines. You
Mm,
know, she was my line partner. She would help me run lines, and my mom would help me with costumes, and my dad, whatever, they're very involved. So
mm.
even to this day, yeah.
That's really good to have that support system for you. And no, I'm gonna ask you that later. So now let's talk about the fabulous, God rest her soul, Supervisor Gloria Molina, and you are playing her at Casa 0101. Talk to us about that and what drew you to that piece. If they had called me, I'd have played her. They ain't called me. Josefina, you could have called me. I'm telling you, we go together. Look at that. I claim
Twins.
all of it. I claim all of it. I had the privilege of meeting her and being in her company. And
Mm.
what she was who I would call like a lot of the women who run things in Los Angeles. Shut up, mother, in LA County, because that's who running things. And
Yeah.
she was just such a genuine person. Tell us about your path with Gloria Molina and getting from there and doing the background and coming on stage with Casa 0101.
Yeah, I started working with Casa many, many years ago. I directed one of Josefina's plays, but she wasn't here at the time. She was still living in France. And I had known of Josefina came to speak to my high school,
Mhm.
um, because she had just written Simply Maria, and my drama teacher brought her in to speak to us and to inspire us. And I met her then, but it was very short. And I directed her play, and we met, but it was very short. I did some work at that little theater. She had a smaller theater initially, and through the years I've known her, but this is the first time we've actually worked together. Um,
Like in the same country, on the same time zone.
yeah, sometimes the same theater. She does that. She works so much. She's constantly finishing something, writing something. That brain does not shut off. So um, I went to. I actually took a break from acting because with work, I actually work, and I have kids. So I took a break for a long time. And last year I decided to start again. My
Mhm.
kids are older and they can take care of themselves more. So I said, you know what? I'm at a point in my life where I want to do the things that just feed
You
my
what?
soul and bring me joy. Not that my kids don't, but just
How
something
many
just for
kids
me.
do you have?
Yeah, I have two. I have two.
Oh, are either of them in the into the arts?
Yeah, they both actually ended up in the arts. As much as I pushed them to be anything else, I
Because
was like, be an engineer, be something.
this is what the elders would call it's not work, it's what? You got to
Yeah.
go to work. I was like, aren't we losing some syllables or another word? I mean, because you don't it's like people that are in the military and people that are not in the military, firefighters, first responders, actors, artists, brainstormers, creators. People don't know what we go through. And oftentimes you want to have that joy and bring people into that one communal space where we're all feeling good and we're all feeling loved and wanted, and someday we don't even know what we feel like. Some
Mhm.
days you be in so much pain, your hair hurts. And this is not my hair. I mean, other than I bought it. But when my hair started hurting, we can go there. When you go there, because I know that's how you come up out of that. When you go there, how long does it take you to go there, sit in it, and get through it and come back up?
To go through.
Hell and high water. People tell you
Oh,
what you can't do. You know who you think you are. You want to come in. You ain't the prettiest girl in the room. So what? You the prettiest girl in the room. I'm gonna tell you what you cannot do. Let me tell you what you're supposed to be. Or maybe I was
yeah,
just me. I was having a flashback.
I don't know. You have to have a tough skin to be in this business. Um, and I tell that to anyone who's starting is, you know, I don't try to dissuade anyone, but I also try to be very honest and say, um, you know, you will be picked at for everything, and you have to be, um, like, I was 20 in my 20s, and I was what I considered in shape and thin. And I
Mhm.
remember a teacher pulled me aside and said, "You know, you're an ingenue, so you probably should be thinner." Um, and this was a teacher that I really revered and really learned a lot. And she said, "Because your type is going to be, you know, you're going to be cast as an ingenue." And
You're the up
um,
and coming beautiful thing that's coming up, and we want you to look a certain way.
yeah, so I said, "Well, this is what I look like, and I'm not, you know, a lot I went to a school where there were a lot of, Caucasian students,
Mhm.
um, and I don't look like that. I have a different body." And I said, "Thank you for the advice, but that's I'm not gonna change myself." Um, and I never
Oh, now
did.
you come and talk to me about it. What? Oh, now you coming? Because see, I did not get the Hollywood Handbook. I didn't know they had one. So
Oh, no.
was that? They sent for me. I was minding my own business. I'm telling you, Carl, I was minding my own business in my home state, in my hometown. And they say you never, never get recognized in your hometown. Well, that was crap. And I was like, okay, let's get Mother Love. I know where she is. Let's go get Mother Love. And I was like, okay, what y'all coming to get me for? Well, I'm doing. And they brought me here literally on a first class flight, treated me like my crap didn't stink. You couldn't tell me I wasn't queen turd. I wasn't I was the half on the pie. And I was like, oh, well, now you can't say this and you don't do that. Well, this was after I signed the contract. They should have said, Mother Love, you can't say this. You can't talk to these people this way. And I'm like, I'm a grown ass woman. What what's my moniker? Mother Love. That means I'm old enough to be your mama. Matter of fact, I'm old. I probably got shoes older than you. They didn't give me the book. See, they didn't give me the book.
Yeah.
They could have told me. And see, you probably got the book because you live here, and you probably said, well, yeah, okay, let me do my thing.
Yeah, I wrote my own book, you know, and
See, so
I just never, and it was hard, I did book when I was younger, I booked
mhm,
stuff, but I also it was, I was competing with people that were physically looked different than me, but,
mhm.
um, or I wasn't Mexican enough, whatever that was, got that a
Wait,
lot.
okay, wait. So you guys get it too. You're
Oh,
not black enough. You're too black. You're not Mexican enough. You're too Mexican. You look too what? What?
yeah, we get it all the time because it's not the shade that they want or the what in their version of us they have in their mind. And towards, my later 20s I started getting I was like I think I need to stop because I, I would go and they'd say, "Can you do an accent?" And when you're starting out you do it, and then at some point I said, "I'm not doing that anymore." And they said, "Can you do an accent?" I said, "I could do any accent you want, but I'm not gonna bring it if I'm, not prepared. And I will bring it I'll come back another day and do it exactly how you want, but
Mhm.
but, is the accent necessary for this character?" Um, and I said, "I'm a trained actress, I'm classically trained, I could do whatever you need, but let me just audition the way I prepared." And I did book stuff, even, that was a little risky, maybe,
Mhm.
but I said, "I prepared this way, and I can make adjustments," but, um, doing an accent, it didn't really serve. Most of the time, it was just, "Can you be an East LA accent?" Or, "Can you do," um, it depended, East LA accent or a Mexican accent or a Spanish accent. Again, it wasn't in the script. It wasn't in the script. Um, so it got a little demoralizing, at that time. This was in the 90s, and um, I kind of stopped doing film and TV because of that. Now, as I'm older, I'm very confident in who I am, and those things don't. I don't pay attention to those
You
things.
don't
I
have to
don't look,
second guess
you
your
know,
talent. You don't have to
and
and you don't get to negate someone's talent because of your stereotypical idea of who he or she is supposed to be, what he or she looks like. When I came out, I had been doing radio and television since 412, 13 years ago. And so I had my foundation, and they were always trying to rock my foundation. I was like, wait a minute. This is what I told them. This is terrible. I would say, don't do it for the money. And I really don't. Now I understand when they say chase the money, but I do it because God lets me do this, and I'm allowed to do this, and I'm his vessel, and they don't get to tell me how to feel about myself. Okay, and then I came with my own husband and my home family, and it was like, okay, well, your husband has too much of a hold on you. And I was like, you know how stupid you sound? You can't call the executive producer stupid. I said, I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm saying he sounds stupid. They were like, okay. I said, come on, mother love, let's go. No problem. And I'm still standing, because when you stand in your purpose and you know who that is and you know whose you are, they can't do nothing about that. But like I thought, either help me along or get out the way. Help me along and get out the way. And see, and I want people to talk. Forget about all that. About the fantastic woman that you're going to be portraying on stage.
Yes. So, Josefina wrote, what we were just talking about. She wrote a lot about that, right? A lot of her writing is centered around that, not fitting in, not fitting, all of these issues that we as Latina women encounter. And I think that's why her work has spoken to so many people, not just Latinas. But Gloria Molina I voted for her. I unfortunately never got to meet her. But she was in my community. My mom would call her when things needed, something was going on. My mom would, she was like, just call Gloria Molina. I'm like, okay. But I never met her. I knew a little bit about her, as far as, as much as you know about your local politicians. But I went to a wedding of a friend, and I hadn't seen Josefina in a long time, because it was just like post-COVID. And I walk in, and she just yells out, "You look just like Gloria Molina." And I was like, okay, hi, how are you? And I said, oh, she goes, I'm writing a play about her, and you look just like her. I said, well, just give me a call. I'll be there. And to her word, months later, this was, I think, in September. And then in December, she messaged me and said, I'm going to be doing the reading. I would love for you to do, the reading, and I'll let you know. Okay. And it didn't end up happening till January. And we did the first reading, and the family's very involved, which is great. And it was a little intense, and no pressure, right? The whole family's there. So I got the opportunity to do the reading, and I couldn't believe how much I didn't know about Gloria. And there's still, the play can't even cover it all, because there's just so much. And as actors know, when you do a reading, you do the reading. That's the job. You don't necessarily get cast. That's not the deal, right? So then Josefina opened it up and got a lot of feedback from the audience. And one of the things I noticed was that everyone in the audience had a Gloria story. Everyone. And it was very personal, and it was that's the version of Gloria they knew. And there were many versions of Gloria, right? There was the politician, there was the boss, there was the mother, there was the sister, there was the so many, and everyone had a very different version and wanted to see their version of Gloria on stage.
Well, like you said at the beginning, no pressure, of course. Her family's here, and now we're getting the feedback. Oh man, did you feel like you were? Just listening to you, I'm just in awe of the fact that you didn't know as much about her as you thought you did, and to listen to all these people, and for you to still say, "Oh, this is real scary, but I'm gonna do it anyway."
Oh yeah. Yeah. My teacher used to say, dare to fail gloriously. And I live by that. And, I didn't have the part, and I met the family, and
Mhm.
again, started doing my own research at that point on anything about Gloria that I could find. And then they did a second reading, and I got asked to do the second reading, and she made some, adjustments, some changes. And at that point, I really, really wanted this part. And I'm not one to ask for anything, but I made it very clear, I think, that I was in. If it was for me and they wanted me, I was in.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and so when the casting came about, they called me and they offered me the role. And I was like, yes. It was on
So
my
was
vision board.
your heart
I don't
fluttering
do
just a
vision
little
board.
bit? And you knew that you wanted this part. When did you know that you wanted this part, and that part you were here to expand her legacy?
The first reading.
First
When I
reading?
first, yeah, I think kind of stepping into her shoes for the reading and saying the words that Josefina wrote that were her words, or her, her her story, telling her story at that moment. I said, people need to know. People need to understand how unique her story is. It really is. Um, she was the first of so many. Female politicians all know who she is. They all
Mhm.
she set the stage for them to come in and be allowed to come in. Um, and I just knew at that moment, I was like, wow, I need to be involved in this somehow. We need to tell this story. And it's been such a great experience working with Josefina and with the family and with Corky, the director, and the
Oh
cast.
my!
It's been
Give them
beautiful.
all kisses for me.
Yeah.
And she was a fascinating woman. She was a fascinating spirit. She was a force to be reckoned with. When she got to checking you, you better make sure that you
Yeah.
get out the way. And she did not mince words. And that was one of the things that I believe a lot of us, non-politicians, respected and honored her. And she was never rude and disrespectful. She always made you feel like you could walk into her house, baby, come on in. I'm not a supervisor, Molina. Oh, mother love, come on in, baby. I got something for. Come on, sit down. Let me. I mean, just her essence. Just being able to be around her, and the fact that I get to talk to you about you playing her. What is that like for you? I mean,
Oh,
you're
wow.
you're talking about interpreting a living legend.
Yes. And that a lot of people knew, right? And personally,
Mhm.
I
Well,
think
that was
I
my Gloria Molina story.
I
I had a
I
half a story.
definitely every bit of acting class that I ever had has come, everything I've ever learned has come, I've used during the process. Um, like I said, I started researching before I even had the role. I remember, here's a funny story, and Josefina doesn't know this.
Come on, spill the
She'll hear
tea. Come
about it
on,
now.
I'm ready.
She called me and she's like, "Oh, you want to do the reading?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Do you have a red blazer?" I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, no, bring it." And so then I hung up and I told my daughter, "We need to go shopping for a red blazer. I don't have a red blazer." And we went to thrift stores, we went to Ross, we went to Marshalls. I don't even know where we ended up finding what, and there was one red blazer. There was only one red blazer. Red blazers are not common nowadays. And there was, I believe it was a Marshalls, there was only one, and it was in my size. And I was like, "Okay, this is an omen."
Mhm,
I
mhm.
got the blazer, I used it for the reading, and that's the same blazer I'm using for the show. Uh, so
That's a
that
good red
blazer's come
blazer.
a long way.
Because when
So
it's for you, it's for you.
it's
What
for
did
you.
you what because you said you didn't learn and really didn't know a lot about her, and you started to do your research. What were some of the nuggets that you found that she was imparting to us and surprised you most about how she was, and took you inside of her world?
Um, I think one something that and as I'm playing her, that I notice is this dichotomy of being this badass politician, don't mess
Mhm.
with me, I get things done, and this beautiful artist and leader in her family who takes care of everyone. You don't always get that. You get one or the other. And and I feel like it almost can only be a woman that can do that. That can be that if fierce lion and then that tender caring person in their family. Um so I think that is one of the most beautiful things about her is that she was able to do that and still take care of so many people. She took care of so many people and find those nuggets of joy, right? So throughout the play, we talk a lot about women supporting women. And she lived that. She
Mm.
was the example of that. Her friendships were long, her friendships were deep. And she really believed that the best way to get things done is to surround yourself by women who believe in you and women who support you. So I've tried to do that in my life and
Oh, baby, baby, stop, Carla. No, you're not trying to do that. You're not trying. You are doing that because you see the importance. You see the strength. You see the camaraderie, the sisterhood when we hold on to each other, and we're so much stronger in numbers. And when everybody's not going to agree with me, even though if y'all did, your life would be a whole bunch better. But I'm just saying. But the fact that I'm just saying, so
yeah.
that we can commune, and that's and I think especially in the times that we're in, this story is so potent that needs to be said and needs to be seen, and the fact that you are doing it in the theater form, so we can see you up close, we can hear you, we can get involved in the other people who are around her, who obviously help create that Gloria Molina who comes out every day, who came out every day, did her job, made people listen, and she like this. And she said, "I just love you, mother love." It was like, shut up. Okay, somebody got to fix someplace. I ain't making this up. Somebody got to fix someplace. Well, a couple of, it's probably Robert Earl and them. But nonetheless, she was so gracious to us. She didn't have to be like that. Well, that's wrong, mother love. She had to be like that because that's who she is. You know,
Yeah.
when people have to be like that, that's not who they are, and we could smell it. We smell that funny smell from phony people. You can see BS coming from a way off. You're like, oh Lord, I just think I don't even gonna deal with this, and she was, and the fact that she left so much of her spirit here with all of us and those who loved her and those who might not know anything about her would want to get to know who she is. What did you find out? Did you find out that she had a wicked sense of humor?
I heard, yeah, and I do too. So I think I get it. I saw one picture actually, which most of the pictures of Gloria are she's dressed in her corporate wear or politician wear, and I saw this one. She was an artist, and she always denied she was, but she was, and she actually set up East Side Arts Initiative, which creates funding, provides funding for artists on the East Side. So
Mhm.
that's part of her legacy is she left this fund for artists to apply and get grants. But I saw this one picture and I don't know again in all of my research, and she was wearing like a, a tank top, like a t-shirt with cut off sleeves, and like her glasses on her head, and she was at an easel, and I was like, oh, there she is. Like again, the artist, the mother, the politician. There were so many sides to her. Um, so many layers, and I think that's so beautiful. And the quilting that she's done, we get to use quilts that are made by the Telas group that she started,
Mhm.
and we're very careful with them, and but she's on stage with us. But yeah, it's a big responsibility to not portray a caricature. Um, you have to be really careful, and I feel like I've put a lot of thought and care into how I approached her.
Mhm.
Um, and
'Cause you do look
my
a lot like her. You really do.
it's
I'm
so
with
funny
her.
because
You really do. You know, everybody's got a doppelganger. You know, most, you know, they do. I don't like the people that tell me I have a girl. You look just like my Aunt Alice. How's your Aunt? My Aunt Alice been dead for about 15 years. So you know, you telling me I look like a dead person? Been dead 15 years. You know, so
Yeah.
that's a really a feather in your cap that you don't have to even have to go through that transformation, you know, to make you look like her because you favor her a lot. You got the same kind of soft cheeks, you know, got the same kind of warm smile, and like I said, I met her. She's a fierce to be worked. She was a force to be reckoned with. If I saw her and a bear in a fight, I'm gonna get a bear a stick.
That's a good.
Bear don't stand a chance. It's always the quiet ones. You know, you'll never want to see them come out their bag because they can't get it back. They can't get it back,
No.
and that's so good. Have you ever thought about going into politics, or you sticking to the theater?
Oh no.
You didn't have to say it that bad. Oh no, that sounds like a crapshoot.
I don't think that's for me. I do, you know, I feel very strongly about voting and making sure you can't complain if you don't vote. That's my theory is you know, if
That's not a
you're
theory, baby. That is a fact. You don't want to
you're
vote, or I'm not voting for anybody. Well, you don't get to say anything about Diddley Squad. Go over there, and sit in the stupid corner.
your person may lose, but you still had an opportunity to make your voice heard. And I feel very strongly about a lot of things, and I will support those things either financially or with my time. But yeah, politics is a whole other world that I don't think I'm cut out for. Um, but yeah, you know, just she was such a force, and the biggest compliment I get and that I feel is like even my husband was like, that was not you on stage. Like your body change. You know, obviously I have the costume and I have a wig, but he's like, that you weren't walking like you weren't moving like you. And um then we had some, you know, over the course, some people have, I come out and they don't recognize me. No one recognizes me. So I come out after the show and everyone's just walking by me. I'm like, how is the lead?
Who is she? Why is she standing?
Yeah.
That's a
But I
testimony
love
to
that because that means that,
you're doing.
you know,
And
my
then
energy
and
is
when
very
your
different.
husband gets it, when
Yeah.
your husband got it, did you have to go in the bathroom? Go, I nailed it. Oh, I know that this guy sees me naked, and I can't believe it. Oh, I didn't mean to say that part.
Yeah. You know, it was, that's when, you know, right. It's not, you're not doing a caricature. You're not doing, obviously there's always some of you in every character, and I try to, there's things that I connect with her on, but yeah, I paid attention to how her speech patterns and the way she carried herself physically. She had the weight of the world on her shoulders. That's a weight. That's a physical weight. That's something you carry. So the blazer I found really helps to, has some massive shoulder pads, you know, because she's, you know, to me, she's like that. Everything's on her shoulders. Um, but yeah,
And
and we had people that know her, you know.
look how gracefully she carried that world on her shoulders. She didn't try to shrug it off. She never said it was too much. She always stood up and stood proud and just kept going. One of the greatest things, this is just me, she did not just love her Latino people, her babies. She loved all of us.
Mhm.
She loved all of us. She came to speak at the church one time, and it was just awesome. And you know, we not the supervisor of LA County. She done came over here, and it was just really something that she didn't feel like, and she never felt like she stepped out of her comfort zone. She said, "I'm going to this other part of my home, right over here." You know what you gonna do with that? I mean, what did you learn most about her? Uh, oh no, we already talked about that because you told us you saw her in sweatpants with a cut off t-shirt. See, I was trying to get that in my mind. Wait a minute, and why not? Why not? You know, they always think that people like you and me and Gloria Molina, supervisor, God rest her soul, they always think we just kind of fell out the sky. this is what we do. I'm just gonna be a politician. I'm just gonna be a brilliant actress. I'm gonna be a crazy talk show host. I'm just saying, and we work on this, and
Yeah.
it's a craft. Do you ever stop learning your
Never.
craft in the theater and other things? Because you like the backstage stuff too.
No, you never. We had a young girl in the audience yesterday, and she came up to me to talk afterwards, and she was asking me about the work, and I said, first of all, if you love it, you'll never get tired of it, and you'll always want to do it, but you'll also never stop learning. I've never stopped learning. Um, one of the things I did learn about Gloria is she's an activist at heart.
Mm-hmm.
She became a politician to be able to use her activism and do what she needed to do. Um, but that she was really an activist, and her passion for, she says in the play, her passion for people came naturally. Her ability, like, to help people and taking care of people was something that was natural to her. Um, and that often leads to not taking care of yourself, right? Because your energy is always going elsewhere. So that's something we're hoping that women, since we tend to be the we handle so much, that we stop for a moment and take care of ourselves. We've had we had a lot of people in the audience yesterday mention that they were getting mammograms because of the play.
Now, see
Um,
that's the
and to
impacting
me,
part.
if even one person did that, that would
That was
already
worth
be
every
worth it.
pit, every minute, every penny. And that's what
Yeah.
we will have to continue to do. We women, the grandmothers, the aunties, the mothers, the cousins, your play girlfriends, school teachers, all of us have got to get on a good page together. We can be in the same book, even if you're on a different page. Let's collectively pool our resources, because we're the ones gonna have to clean up this crap show. I
Yeah.
mean, the way the country has gotten polarized, and it's just pulled into stupid town. And speaking of stupid, I don't want to call it stupid town. I think it's pretty fantastic. What is your take on artificial intelligence as far as it goes and how far it can go?
I mean, I honestly don't know enough about it to really I think, just like anything new, right? There are new and innovative, there are going to be incredible advancements that are made to benefit people, and then there will also be negative a
Bobo
negative impact.
idiots. Go ahead,
Yeah.
say it. It's gonna be a bunch of idiots, a bunch of
Yeah.
stupid people. I can make you sound just like this. And I was like, I don't think I want somebody mimicking my voice. I that's it's just all too creepy for me. It's real too creepy. I mean, you could come. My husband could turn the thermostat on in the house, or the up or down for the heat. We're not even in the house yet, so it's all cool to one. It's just creepy. The telephone. I have a message from Carla calling you, mother love. I'm like, why she gotta talk so loud? I want the smartphone, the smart refrigerator. My husband is a gadget freak. I would like for my house to just stay dumb. Can I just have a dumb phone ring? Can I just open up the frigidaire? You can go to the bathroom, you go over the toilet flush automatically, you walk out, the water come on automatically. I'm like, wait, where do I have to? Now we got shoes on. I know why they got them Skechers slip-ons though, because I
Oh,
love us
yeah.
as citizens, and we can't bend down over there like that. They ain't fooling nobody. I know. See, I just know. So when you tell people when the play is, because so we can come out and support you all.
We have 3 more weekends,
Mhm,
Fridays and Saturdays at 8 and
mhm.
Sundays at 3. Um, we also have an art exhibit in the lobby.
Oh,
All
mhm,
these wonderful artists that created these pieces of art for specifically for this.
mhm.
And we have some of her quilts up as well, and a timeline of her very, very extensive career. And the exhibit is called Gloria Molina, the Madrina of the East Side. So the godmother of the East Side. And it's at the Jean Delige art gallery, which is in the lobby of the
Mhm.
theater. And the address is 2102 East First Street. And it's on the corner of St. Louis and First Street, next to a really cool pharmacy.
Mhm.
It's a really cool little pharmacy with a really great little coffee shop inside. Shout out to Cake Girl who keeps us caffeined. Um,
Oh, so you would have to mention caffeine. I'm not allowed caffeine anymore.
they have
I
other
think
things.
it's
They have tea.
you have tea. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
So,
wonderful.
yeah, again, 3 more weekends. We have several days that are already sold out. So, people should go on and get their tickets as soon as possible. um, but yeah, we would love to get, um, this is a play that you can bring your children to, not little ones,
Isn't
but,
that something? It's
you know,
entertainment
we're
for all
teenagers.
audiences.
We need to pass the information, down to our generations because, hopefully the story inspires women to get their mammograms and the younger girls to, fight for what they believe in and find whatever they're passionate about and pursue that. So there's
And know
so
that
many
they are
different.
enough. Know that they
Yes.
are enough. You don't allow anybody to define you. And as we know, we are our biggest critic. So we're always looking inward to say, let me do this better. Let me go smarter with this. I know I'm in a dark spot, but I can get up out of it. What is your motivating factor when because we can get we can go to some dark, ugly places. And then you go, oh I just get it out. Then I have to go to the bathroom, blow my nose, my head hurts, so it's not worth it anymore. What do you do? What's your process of when you get there and you need to turn it around internally? Because a lot of our young people, unfortunately, really don't have the coping skills to
Yeah.
deal with dark days, not effectively.
Yeah, and even adults now, even, after
Oh,
COVID,
yeah.
a lot of us are struggling with things that maybe we didn't struggle with before because we're
Mm-mm,
still
mm-mm. No, this is the
coping.
truth about it. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, this is the truth about it, Carter. It's not that we didn't experience this before. It was we were too chicken crap to bring it up to say this is what's going on because in our back of our mind, oh, if I say this and I'm having a mental breakdown or I need to go, they're gonna think I'm crazy. In our community, you going through a mental health issue first thing, and then y'all come, all of us. The first thing they take it to God. God will handle it. Okay, well, aren't you supposed to do your part too? I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
So
I
what
think
do
it's
you do
different
when
for
it's like that?
I think it's different for everyone. Everyone
Mhm.
has, I've learned to enjoy quiet, which is something I never enjoyed before, and now I really try to find a quiet place. I do remove myself from technology. That does help me. I exercise. I started weightlifting this year, which I had never done. And it's really given me a new sense of power,
Mhm.
um, knowing that I can actually do that, and I can go up in weight, and I can be strong again. So doing that
I
has
could
been
bench
something
press a I
my
could bench press a food mixer, and that's about it. I can take the thing off of the base and I can lift it over there. That's it. Some of us are built for comfort. That's me. I'm not built for speed. I'm just listening to you say, "Ooh, I lift weights now." Something I've never done. And I'm thinking about, oh, my hip would not be able to tolerate that. That's why you gotta take care of your body while you're young. Because if I knew I was gonna live this long, girl, I would have took way better care of myself. I did not know. You got to take care of yourself and
Yeah,
be encouraged because it will help keep your body strong and keep your mind strong and elevated. And you say you have to, you go and lift weights and quiet. And have you
yeah.
found in your quiet time that you like being with you?
I really do. I really do enjoy, I do yoga as well. I do, you know, um, meditation, stuff that I didn't grow up doing, but I really find being at peace.
Mhm.
I'm not a religious person, so I'm trying to find, I'm a good person, and I think that's part of how I I like to help others, and that's my religion, is helping others. And what opportunity can I find
Okay,
to
now wait. You can't have
yeah,
it both ways. You can't say I'm not a particular religious person, but I help take care of people and give them some religious counsel. Maybe you don't understand and really get the gist of the difference between religion and faith.
yeah,
Religion don't have anything to do with faith. You know,
yeah.
when faith is when you say, I'm gonna go out here and do some like real crazy supernatural stuff, and the universe will go, okay, Carla, we're gonna open it up so you can see that this, and you go, oh, hey, that don't have anything to do with religion. Religion is what man had came up with to keep
Yeah.
control of the masses. That's please. See, they don't understand. You know, and people that say, oh, you have to have a religion. No, you don't. And if you look in the, I'm just saying, I done read the Bible, the Rosicrucian, I done read the Quran, I done read, you name it, I done read it. And ain't none of it, not, and I'm saying, it ain't none of them. You understand? Ain't none of them. Or I'm fist to go now. I'm fist to, you hear they talk about faith. Do you believe it? Do you believe it can be done? Are you willing to take the steps to make sure that it gets done? Do you have your faith and a mustard seed? Because some of them has got some really good stories. I tell you. So I understand when people say, "Well, it's really, sweetie, it's about faith." Because if you didn't have the faith that your words had power and have power to be able to go and give yourself to another human being, that's faith. Because you ain't even looking for anything back. You ain't looking for nobody. Baby. Okay, let me go on over here. And that could be the moment in their life that you have been the counsel, not if that's ain't the conduit. It was coming to me. I got a little excited. The conduit to helping one more person just get to one more hour through one more day. So no, they don't have anything. I look, y'all know I just check them where I check them. I'm just letting you know, baby. You don't even got to waste your time on that whole religious stuff because you are a faithful woman. Pick one. I thought I wanted to be a Jehovah's Witness one time. I thought I wanted to be a Muslim. I wanted to see for myself. I wanted to
Yeah,
know for
that's great.
myself, and that's with me and the universe. Even with all the crazy and stuff, I say I believe I believe I'm a half a heathen Christian. I'll just tell you straight up because that's the best story like ever. Sometimes I be scared about going into the church because the lightning
What?
bolt will come through. What? Ain't that mother like sit down there? I'm just so.
Why is that holy water boiling?
But why is it boiling? See, and I ain't even put my finger in it yet. Pastor ain't even put the finger in it. No, why is it so? Why is it turning blue? I thought the water's supposed to turn red. Well, pull her back. Just get her away from her. See, that's what I know. I know because the universe that I serve, the God that I serve, you can't tell me he don't have a sense of humor. She know everything before you know it. See, I could switch him up, him and
You
she.
said she, yeah.
I'm just like, because you know,
Who
you know
knows?
why you know why we were made women though, right?
Hmm?
You know why we were made women?
Why?
Because they knew we could handle it. We didn't. Man can. If you go with the whole biblical thing, man created. God created Adam, gave him everything, and he went, "Oh, you gonna need some help, me." Threw him down on the floor, took a rib, made us. He said, "You gonna need some help." Did we get one? Did we get one coming at us? No. Oh, we got swollen breast and menstrual cramps. We had babies coming out like that. We were spewing them out. I don't know. We didn't get that. If anybody needs a wife, it's women. I wish I could have somebody make the coffee for me in the morning, smell the food getting cooked. That would be me. And I'm just saying. So that's what we're going to have to do. Tell them again about the play.
90 seconds.
I knew it. See, I did it right on time. Tell us more about the play.
So yes,
And before, let us thank your publicist. Let's give him just a big shout out because he is such a Steve
thank you,
Moyer.
Steve Moyer. Yes, he's
See,
been working
obviously,
really hard.
he's
Huh?
very sweet. Okay,
Yes.
about the play.
Yes, come out and see a woman named Gloria at Casa 0101, written by Josefina Lopez, directed by Corky Dominguez, and a fantastic cast. These 10 cast members play over 80 roles. throughout the
You
course
know,
of my
that is
life.
really, that's spectacular right there.
Yeah.
Carla Ojeda, Ojeda, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
You're gonna break a leg. You're gonna break a leg. So have a great time. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody. Remember, you can see Mother Love every place. Just go on all the little social medias and remember this: no matter how big or tall, short or small, thick or thin, it matters not what skin